How to get over a breakup. If you're a man and a woman recently ended a relationship with you, be that a long-term relationship or a marriage, or you ended the long-term relationship or the marriage because it just wasn't right, and right now you're suffering because you miss her, then this video is for you. Today you're going to learn some of the core truths about dating, relationship, and life that will set you free, that will give you your power back, and that will help you reclaim your strength as a man, as well as a general sense of well-being and happiness. You will learn some practical strategies that you can implement today and this week to start feeling better, to start getting out there again and reclaim who you truly are. So, if you're sick and tired of suffering, maybe the relationship ended 2 or 3 years ago and you still haven't gotten over her, then this video is for you as well. So let's crack right on in. First of all, you have to understand that part of the reason you're suffering is because this woman was meeting your need for love and connection. Part of the reason you're suffering is because when we spend a lot of time with a person, with a woman, she starts meeting our deep, basic psychological need for love and connection in a way that most people never will, can, or have. You gotta imagine your need for love and connection, or the fulfillment thereof, like a thermometer. The higher, the better, the happier you are. Now, the less that thermometer is being met, the more depressed you are, the more anxious you get, the more addictions you develop. The number one reason for depression, anxiety, and all kinds of addiction, science is very clear, is a lack of high quality social contact. But here is the first key to happiness and freedom. As Marshall Rosenberg, founder of Nonviolent Communication, says, your need for love and connection, as well as all other psychological needs you have, can be met independently of any particular person. That is so fundamental. You have to understand that part of the reason you're suffering is because you don't have enough high quality social contact. What happens when we feel alone, when we feel we miss her? We isolate ourselves. We sit at home, we eat Ben & Jerry's by ourselves, thinking about the times we used to eat Ben & Jerry's with her. Maybe she's your ex-wife and she's still part of your life, and now there's a little bit of friction, you don't really like each other, you have to suss things out in relation to the children, but you do miss the times you spent together. You oftentimes isolate yourself thinking about how nice it was with her, as opposed to getting out there, spending time with high quality male friends or family members. You need to first of all understand that the number one reason you're suffering is because of a lack of high quality social contact, and you can change that now. Why do you think so many people get dogs? Because dogs meet your need for love and connection. Your parents meet your need for love and connection. The people you meet when you go hiking, in the martial arts gym, at work, your business partners, colleagues, anybody and everybody. Prostitutes. Everybody that you get in contact with, that you actually have a little bit of rapport with, meets your need for love and connection. So the number one job you have is to be proactive about getting out there and meeting your need for love and connection in various different ways. Do not isolate yourself. Stop isolating yourself. That's the number one reason. Another reason you're suffering is because you believe in the illusion of loss. Tony Robbins says, anytime we suffer, it's because we believe either less, loss, or never. We believe we have less of something, we lost something, or we'll never ever get something again. I'll never find someone like her again. You might be walking around. Maybe you've gone out to bars and nightclubs, you've gone to shopping malls, you're interested in maybe talking to women again, but then you're like, oh, she's not my girl. She's not as good as my girl. She's more beautiful. As in, my woman at home, or my former woman at home, was so much more beautiful, so much more kind, so much more caring. Or you see a beautiful woman, you're like, yeah, she's probably attractive, but she probably has a trash personality. She actually cared about me. You over-idealize the past, and you believe that you're never going to be able to find someone like her again, which is absolute and utter nonsense. I'd like to question how much strategic action you have taken when it comes to replacing her. And yes, this is a cold truth, but you can absolutely replace her. You can't replace the individual, but you can replace the function that person was fulfilling in your life, which is to meet your needs. Now, life is not as robotic, and some people criticize and they say, David, it's not as robotic as you make it out to be. Love is something very spiritual, and yeah, it is. But it's also very basic. Human beings meet each other's psychological need for love and connection. And the good news is there's 7 or 8 billion people in the world. Half of them are women. 10% of the women in your city are in a good age group for you. 10 to 15%. If you live in a city with 1 million people, 500,000 people, let's say you live in a city with 500,000 people, 250,000 women, 25 to 30,000 women in the perfect age group for you. How many of them have you actually spoken to? How many of them have you actually approached in a respectful and effective way? How many times have you used online dating effectively? What have you actually done to replace that person? Nothing. You're just sitting there wallowing in your fucking sadness. Stop acting like a fucking bitch. What are you? A man or not? And I know these are harsh words, and I know you're probably longing for compassion. But to be honest, you've listened to enough sad songs now, haven't you? Haven't you listened to enough people who've stroked your head and told you, yeah, I'm so sorry for you. It's really sad. It's not that sad. It's not that big a deal. You can actually replace that person. If you understand simple math, you understand that you can simply replace that person. It's very, very simple. You just have to get out there and start taking action. You can't just be whining like a little bitch sitting at home, masturbating yourself to sleep. You can sit at home, cry, catch your tears, use these tears as lubricant, and jerk yourself to sleep. You can do that. Or you can choose happiness. So, that's the second point. Understand that as special as she may have been, she's not that special. Everybody can be replaced. And it's a beautiful thing. It basically just means there's so many beautiful people, there'll never be a shortage. I know it doesn't feel like that right now, and this is where it gets a little bit more subtle. You have this emotional resistance. There's the sadness, there's the anger, there's the maybe a little bit of depression. All that is present in you right now. So you don't feel like going out. I understand. But here's the next key. Successful people take action and then they feel good. And failures, they wait to feel good until they can start taking action. That's really one of the most basic principles in personal development. Losers wait to feel good to take action. They wait to feel motivated to go to the gym. Winners go to the gym, and on their way to the gym, as they start listening to music and they change their physiology, they start feeling better. You have to understand that the way you feel is simply a result. Yes, it's influenced by external circumstances, of course, and the amount of people you have in your life who are meeting your need for love and connection, but it's also your physiology. Are you exercising or not? A lot of men, they stop exercising. If you don't exercise, you get more depressed. If you exercise, you supply your brain with a lot of happy hormones. You change your neurochemistry. Are you going to the sauna? Do you swim in the cold Irish Sea? Do you at least take cold showers? Do you listen to empowering music? Do you listen to personal development and motivational content for at least 30 minutes every day? Write these things down. In my coaching program with my clients, be that in the group coaching programs or the one-on-ones, these are the basics that I go over with my clients. They change your life. Again, exercise at least 3 times a week, sauna, cold plunge, listening to personal development, motivational content every single day for 30 to 60 minutes. At least 30 minutes. You have to stand guard at the door of your mind. If you're listening to sad songs, never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best. Yeah, I'd be depressed as fuck as well. And of course you're supposed to allow yourself time to grieve. But a lot of men, they really quickly cross the line from expressing grief and healing to conditioning sadness. You gotta give yourself time to express the grief, to cry, to feel the pain, to feel the sadness. But if you do too much of that, you start conditioning sadness. See the difference? Yes, listen to a couple of sad songs by Ed Sheeran. Photograph. We keep this love in a photograph. Do it, cry, it's important. But then, change your neurochemistry, change your physiology, change what you focus on. Change your inner dialogue, the way you speak to yourself. Oh, this is it. I'll never find someone like her. Or how am I ever supposed to find someone like her? All these things influence your mental and emotional state. You can control your mental and emotional state. It is not just dependent on external circumstances. I need you to understand that. It's not the fact that she left you or that the relationship ended, that you're suffering. There's no causal connection. Gunther Schmidt in Germany, one of Germany's most highly regarded psychologists, sometimes talks about that. If there actually was this cause and effect relationship, that would mean that you would always feel equally shit. Because if the fact that she left you or that the relationship ended was the cause of your suffering, that would mean that you would feel equally shit all the time because the cause didn't change. So unless the cause changes, you'd have to feel equally shit all the time. Since that's evidently not the case, this is not the root cause of your suffering. You haven't replaced her. You're not spending time with high quality men. The number one thing you got to do is get out there. Take care of your physiology. Go to bars and nightclubs. Don't consume any drugs. A lot of men, they actually spiral downwards into the deepest pits of hell after a breakup because they don't know how to navigate their own emotional reality. They start consuming a lot of alcohol. Some people I've seen consume a lot of boosters before the gym or testosterone, which completely messes them up. And then they start visiting prostitutes, they start doing cocaine, they do all kinds of crazy shit. Or even just they isolate themselves and they start playing video games like 3, 4, 6 hours a day. There's a lot of potential for negativity right now that you have to be aware of. You have to take conscious control of how you feel. But most importantly, you have to understand that you can. So, quick little recap. Number 1, your need for love and connection has to be met. Get out there. Go to the gym and invite men to train with you. It's like, hey bro, could you spot me for a second? Awesome, cool. Then you start meeting people there. Then you invite men from the gym for coffee. Somebody you really like, you're like, hey bro, do you want to go get a coffee? Make sure you call them bro so they know you don't want to suck their dick. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if that's not your agenda, then you should make that clear. You invite them for a coffee. Oh, all of a sudden you have somebody. You have to understand that social contact is the number one thing. Do not buy into that myth that you have to heal somewhere at an ocean by yourself and meditate. Do that. That's great. Meditation and healing next to an ocean or in a cave somewhere is super powerful, but the most amount of healing, the majority of your healing should happen while you're surrounded by people who make you feel at home. And then start going out. Start hitting bars and nightclubs. Don't drink. Drink a green tea perhaps. Eat some walnuts when you go out. Omega-3 fatty acids. Long-term energy. Go out there. Have a great time. So, I hope you've gotten a couple of practical strategies from this. I hope you've taken notes. The number one thing, replace that person. Find different ways to meet your need for love and connection. Remember what Marshall Rosenberg says, any need you have can be met independently of any particular person. Exercise, cold showers, sauna. Avoid any kind of drugs. Feed your mind. Be careful who you listen to. Cut negativity out. Become aware of the possibilities. And also, just for a little bit of perspective, there's people who are dying in war, bro. There's literally people dying in war. Yes, I know it's a breakup, I know it hurts, but it's not that big a deal. It's really not that big a deal. You can go through the emotional discomfort you have right now with discipline and simply create a new emotional reality for yourself. I know you don't feel like it, but it doesn't matter. You are successful in your job or your career. You have your own business. You've achieved a lot of success so far in your career or your business. Oh, but I don't feel like it. Imagine if every time you had a business challenge or a challenge in your career, you would have said, oh, I just don't feel like it. That's how losers think. If you want to invite more suffering into your life, give in to this little, I don't feel like it. Push yourself with discipline through a 45-minute workout and you're going to feel better. Listen to personal development and motivational content on Audible, YouTube, my stuff, every single day. Join mastermind groups. Join my coaching program. Do something that propels you forward, and that gives you a network of high quality people who empower you with positivity 24/7. I sincerely wish you all the best.